Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Can you guys believe that it is almost November? Like, this last few months have just flown by. Like, I thought my summer was hectic. Like, it was busy. But these last couple months are just like, bam, over. Anyways, it is time for the November TBR. I can't wait to show you guys all the fun that I have. So, with further ado, let's just get into it. Okay, so my November TBR is a little just moody, you know? Like, I have different things. Like, I have some middle grades that I was kind of leaning towards. I have books that are like TV reality shows for dating, for baking. I got a lot going on. So let's just start. So our first one I'm just going to share with you is a middle grade. So this one I think is beautiful. This is The Star Shepherd by Dan Herring and Marcy Kate Conley. So this one is just so eye-catching, and I just think it's going to be great for this time of the year. So this one says, when the world first formed, the night was black and filled with dark creatures. The elders knew their people couldn't survive under such a threat, so they made the ultimate sacrifice. They gave their hearts to the sky in the form of brightly shining stars to keep evil away. Now 11-year-old Cairo is a star shepherd like his father, and he spends his life tucked away on the outskirts of town, where his small family watches the night sky for falling stars and rushes to meet or to rescue them when they do. But when too many of the stars begin to fall at once, disappearing before they can be saved, Cairo's father journeys to the Star Shepherd Council to report the threat, but he never returns. So Cairo and the town baker's daughter Andra and their trusty dog Cypher must find a way to save the stars before the dark creatures make their terrifying return. I don't know about you, but that just sounds just absolutely wonderful. This book sounds like it's going to really be something. And even the back of this book is so beautiful. Like, there's his little dog and there's him with a star. I can't wait to read that one. Another middle grade that I have is The Nowhere Emporium by Ross Mackenzie, and this one I want to read because of the first page of this book. So the first page of this book says, a shop from nowhere arrives with the dawn on a crisp November morning. So that's why I want to read this book in November. This one is a mysterious shop from nowhere, can appear at any time in any city. Its magical labyrinth of rooms contains wonders beyond belief, but to enter you must pay a price. This one actually has several books with it already, and I haven't heard any bad reviews about them, so I think that this could be a super cute, super fast read for November. A YA book that I have is Not Here to Stay Friends by Caitlin Hill. This one is one of those reality show dating books, and I just get so into reality show books and like baking competition books this time of the year, along with like mystery books and obviously like holiday books. So I'm going to throw a couple of these in on my November TBR just because I just came out from October having all of those paranormal romances, and I want to get some of these out of the way before I head into December, where I just read Christmassy books because I love that. So this one follows Salome, and her life is not going as planned. So she decides that she's going to spend the summer with her best friend from her childhood named Liam in Los Angeles, where he lives. But when she gets there, she finds out that Liam is actually all grown up into this hot boy that she did not expect. But she doesn't really want to put a damper on their friendship, so she rolls with it. But then Liam tells her that he actually has to work for the summer for his producer dad. So he just is going to take Salome on set with him, and they're going to get coffee and donuts for his dad and just do whatever an assistant is supposed to do until they get there and find out that his dad is actually producing the new teen dating show called Aspen Woods Future Leading Lady, and they are actually one contestant short, so Liam's dad throws in Salone to make a quick fix of that. But once filming starts, this dating Aspen gets way too real for Salone way too fast, and Liam, behind the scenes, doesn't exactly enjoy watching her with Aspen. So drama behind the scenes kind of starts to unravel, and they realize that they might be best friends, but you're not actually supposed to want to kiss your best friend. I just think this book is going to be so, so wonderful, and I think it's going to be charming and maybe funny and silly, and I don't know. I just can't wait to read this one. I think a YA dating show one is going to be super, super good. The Agathas by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson is another YA mystery book. This one actually follows a couple teenage girls. So this one follows Alice, and Alice is a rich girl. This is kind of like a rich kid book almost. So Alice is a rich kid. She is the football player Steve's girlfriend. He actually breaks up with her, and she goes missing for 5 whole days. Nobody knows where she is. Nobody knows what she's doing. Nobody knows if she's okay. And then she just magically appears again. So they just kind of assume that she uses her money and kind of just escapes for 5 days. But then Brooke goes missing, and she is Alice's ex-best friend and Steve's new ex-girlfriend. So he breaks up with Brooke. Brooke goes missing. And there is a prize money that you can win for any information on Brooke, because they don't think she's like Alice. They don't think that she's just taking money and going and hanging out. She's a little different. So there is a girl named Iris, and Iris is Alice's tutor, and she really wants that reward money because the reward money could go a long ways for her. So she is going to use Alice's knowledge of Steve and Brooke and what happened to Alice those 5 days, and kind of use that to her advantage and try to get this reward money and give some information. So Alice is all for it. She loves Agatha Christie novels, and she is going to help Iris crack what happened to Brooke and prove that Steve is innocent, because she does not think that Steve is actually a killer. I think these books are going to be so, so good. I think that it's just going to be really, really charming, and I think them following the cases of Agatha Christie and kind of playing as Agatha Christie and solving this murder is going to be really, really good. How to Find a Missing Girl by Victoria, I can never say her name, Lasoke, it's right there, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm so bad with names. This one actually just came out. I saw this cover and I thought, oh, that's super cute, like pink, blood. Yeah, let's do it. So this is another mystery. 1 missing girl is unthinkable, 2 is unforgivable. This one follows Iris. So Iris, a year ago, had a sister that went missing named Stella, and she just completely vanished, and this devastated Iris? Oh, they have the same name. So this devastated Iris. So she wanted to crack this case and figure out what happened to her sister, and she actually ran away the police's only suspect in the murder or in the missing girl, and the detective told her that if she meddles into any other cases before she turns 18, that she was going to do jail time for obviously meddling and disrupting their case. So she had to stop. But then Iris's ex-girlfriend Heather just went missing after posting her final episode of her true crime podcast about Iris's sister Stella. All these names, guys. So Heather made this podcast following Stella's disappearance, and once she posts the final episode, she disappears herself and goes missing. So Iris can't let this go. She has to figure out what happened to Heather and try to use her sister's case to kind of give her some clues. So she starts battling again. She's under the watchful eye of one of the detectives, and she's actually going to have her enemy turned friend turned maybe more to contend with, and only 30 days until she turns 18. So she needs to get this case solved as quickly as possible without getting in trouble before she turns 18. I think this book is going to be so gosh darn good. This book is just so beautiful, and I think this is going to be one of those books that I read and I just want to give everybody for Christmas, because it is a YA, it's so versatile, and I just think so many people are going to really, really love this book. I haven't seen it around yet. Like, I have not seen it like really hit TikTok or Instagram or even YouTube, but it did just come out. So I'm really, really expecting this one to be a very, very good book. My only adult mystery is actually a Catherine Stedman's The Family Game. This one kind of gave me like adult vibes of almost The Inheritance Game, and I really, really enjoyed that one. So I figured like a thriller would really do good. And this one was a book of the month in October of 2022, but this one follows Harriet, and Harriet is a novelist. She is engaged to a what's his name? To Edward, and he is the heir to his father's business. And Edward has tried to leave his family time and time again, but just keeps getting pulled back. And she is kind of drawn to their lavishment, their lavishing lifestyle, and doesn't really see the harm in his family until they go to dinner and she kind of finds out. So they have this family tradition where they play this lethal game of survival, and when she gets there, she's not really too sure what to expect, because Edward hasn't really told her that much about her family or about his family. So when she gets there, his father actually gives her a cassette tape and tells her that it is his new book and wants her to listen to it. So she listens to it, and she finds out that it is actually a confession of him confessing a very, very horrible crime, and actually a murder. So she is so confused. She is so isolated. She must figure out if this is a way to see if she is loyal to the family, or if his father has some other reason for giving this to her, and kind of see if this game is worth playing. It says the rules of the game is to listen carefully, do your research, trust no one, and run for your life. I just think this is going to be so gosh darn good. I think this book gives me the feeling that it's going to be one of those thrillers that you just keep reading. Like, you don't know, because it's just one of those like mysteries that you're so drawn to that you don't want to put this book down. So if anybody else has read this, let me know in the comments like how you felt about it, because I really want to try to make that a priority this year to get to. Like, that is one of the high ones on my list. I have this cute little book called Pumpkin Everything by Beth Labonte, and this is my only like seasonal book I have to read in November. So this one is about Amy, and she called off her fall wedding. She is a horror novelist that is left with a broken heart, a case of writer's block, and she is dissing on everything pumpkin spice. She doesn't like it right now. It's not a thing. Pumpkin spice is out the window. But she actually gets this call telling her that her grandfather has actually had an accident in her hometown where he drove through a Dunkin' Donuts shop, literally drove through it, and broke his wrist. So she decides that she is going to head home, which is 500 miles away, check on her grandfather and kind of heal him back to health. Otherwise, he'll be put into an assisted living and her childhood home would be sold. So she takes it upon herself to go back. But the only thing that she is worried about when going back home is running into Kit, because he was her childhood best friend, first love, and reason for leaving in the first place. As they start to reconnect, they obviously are getting this second chance at romance. This second romance that is completely possible if Kit didn't have these secrets that could ruin everything once again. This is a very like short book, I feel like. I feel like it's a very short book, but it's 188 pages. So I feel like it's short. It does have some like long, small words, long pages, small words, but I think I'm still going to just breeze through this one. I think it's going to be a really good pick for November because it's not super Halloween-y, but it's like fall. I don't know. I think it's going to be good. Another romance that I want to get to is Christina Lauren's The True Love Experiment. And this one actually follows Fizzy. And Fizzy is in Christina Lauren's other book called The True Love Equation? Or The Soulmate Equation. The True Love. True Love is in my head evidently. So The Soulmate Equation. And The Soulmate Equation was so good. And Fizzy was just this like cute little character that added so much depth to the friendship perspective in that book. So I really like that Fizzy actually gets her own book. So this one is about Fizzy. She is a lost romance novelist that never had true love herself, so she's kind of feeling stuck writing her next book. And that is when Connor actually comes into play. So Connor is a filmmaker and a single dad, and his boss actually wants him to create a reality show. So he thinks that Fizzy would actually be a perfect way for his reality show to stand out. Like, what is better than getting a very, very popular romance book writer to be your leading lady in a romance contestant show? So she actually agrees. She thinks this might actually be a perfect way to kind of shove it in Connor's face that maybe romance isn't super easy like he thinks it is, because he thinks that he's just going to be able to produce this great reality show. And she's like, got some different news for you. Like, true love is harder than it sounds. And she decides that she will do it as long as he goes off of a very strict guideline for the contestants that she's going to be mingling with. But they start to spend time together, and they seem to, start to have those feelings for each other, even though she's a contestant on his show. So I can't wait to get into that one. I love Christina Lauren. They are just perfect. Icebreakers by Hannah Grace is another one that is everywhere right now, so I can't wait to get into it. I think this is the perfect time to get into this one because it has that like university, college kind of feel, and I love reading those kind of books this time of the year as well, like the new school year kind of feeling. So this one follows Anastasia, and Anastasia wants nothing more but to get on Team USA for figure skating. So she actually gets accepted to the University of California, Maple Hills, to land a space on the competitive figure skating team in hopes to be chosen to go on to the Team USA. And then comes in Nate. And Nate is a hockey player. He's the team captain, and he just wants his team to be able to practice and get as much time on the ice as possible. Then something happens with scheduling, and the figure skating team and the hockey team are scheduled on the ice at the same time over and over and over again. So they kind of have to make do. They have to kind of just figure it out. And as they do, something actually happens to Anastasia's partner, and she no longer has a partner. So she looks to Nate to kind of step in, thinks that it would be perfect. He thinks that she doesn't like him. She thinks that she could never fall for a hockey player. And I think they both have a different story coming to them. I think this is going to bring them together so magically and so beautifully. And I just hope that both of their dreams come true. And I just can't wait to read this one. I haven't actually really heard a bunch of people talking about it, but I see it absolutely everywhere. So that is the talk that I'm talking about. Everybody's reading it. So I want to read it. Woke Up Like This by Amy Lee is another one that I actually pre-ordered because I loved the synopsis so much. Like, this one follows Charlotte, and Charlotte is a super organized senior with one last to-do plan on her perfect high school resume. So she wants the perfect prom, and all was going super well, super good, until she actually has a decorating accident and falls off of the ladder, and she falls onto her arch nemesis JT. And nothing could get worse, falling off a ladder face first into her arch nemesis. But it can, because she wakes up in an unfamiliar bed. She's in her 30s, or she is 30, and she is next to a bearded man that is her fiance and no other than JT Renner. So her and Renner are super confused. They are trapped figuring out what happened and why they're 30, why they're engaged, what has happened in that time lapse of that 12-ish years, how they got to where they are, and if they're ever going to actually make it back to 17. And the longer they go on these adventures and try to figure out a way back to 17, the more she realizes that maybe Renner is more charming than she gave him credit for. And it's just kind of a question whether when they get back to 17, if they ever get back to 17, how their story is going to go from there and how they're going to get together and back to 30 and engaged and living together. I just read this synopsis, pictured 13 going on 30, but with 2 characters instead of just 1, and I was done. Like, I loved the cover. I thought it was so, so cute and so simple, and yeah, I bought it, and I waited for it because I really, really wanted to read it. Desserts for Stressed People is by Letizia Lorini, and I don't know what to think about this one. I think it's going to be wonderful. It has baking, it has desserts, it has like secrets and drama, and okay, let me tell you about this one. So this one says revenge is a dish best served scorching hot, and that's why professionally stressed and dessert-loving Haven creates a fake profile on an app her cheating boyfriend is using to find hookups. So she actually makes this app that she finds out her boyfriend is cheating on her, makes this app to kind of get back at him, does this revenge whole thing, and then she's actually matched up with no other than Shane H., a man who seems as sweet as baked treats that he tempts her with, and so revenge becomes the last of her problems. So Shane is matched up with her, and they start having this like messaging relationship, and it's going wonderful until she actually starts to fall for this man that she's actually catfishing technically, because he doesn't really know who she is, and she's using that fake profile, and then she gets sent to work for him. So Shane turns out to be the professionally stressed, intimidating new boss that she is sent to work with, and he has no idea that she is the girl that he is messaging late into the night and he wants more of. So she has a boyfriend who could doom her to enormous financial debt, a hot and cold, irresistible boss complicating her work life, and the intricate web of lies she's designed for herself is the perfect recipe for disaster. But it turns out that Haven isn't the only one keeping secrets, and will the cookie finally crumble? This book is heavy, y'all. Like, it's a heavy book. But it's not like super long per se, but I just think it's going to be so good. And it has those texting pages where it's like their conversation they're having at night. And I really just hope that when he finds out who she is, that he like understands why she made that fake profile and that she never like really wanted to hurt him. I don't know. I'm kind of just deciding what I think the book's going to be about, and I'm super excited. If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy is about another one of those reality romance competitions. So this one follows Cindy. She's a fashion-obsessed, plus-sized woman who loves shoes the most. So she goes and gets a design degree, but there's no jobs that are hiring that she really wants. So she actually moves back in with her stepmother, who is an executive producer with the world's biggest reality dating show called Before Midnight. And before midnight actually is out one of their contestants, and Cindy is the perfect last minute throw-in. So she gets thrown in by her stepmother. She figures that her shoe collection being on this super big reality dating show might actually be really good publicity for her. She might actually come out of this with a little more of a jump start to her dream job as a designer. But she is the first plus-size contestant on this dating show, so she instantly turns into a viral sensation to being a body positive icon. And she starts to feel like maybe she actually could fall for this main guy and actually have a relationship with him. But to make it to the end of this show, she actually has to be in a house with a bunch of other contestants that she doesn't really know if she should trust or have a friendship with. And she has to kind of get there without breaking a heel and without breaking her heart, and that is something that I think is really hard to do with these reality dating shows. So I think it's going to be absolutely wonderful. I absolutely loved the last book I read about a plus size fashion blogger that went on a reality dating show, and she was actually the main lady for that one. So I think this one's going to be just as good. The Long Game by Elena Armas is another one that I saw everywhere. Before it even came out, I was like, okay, this is a book that I'm going to have to buy right when I see it in stores, because everybody else is already after this book, kind of like Wildfire. Like Wildfire, that book was everywhere before it even hit the shelf. This one follows Adeline, and she has spent years only working at the Miami Flames FC office. She goes to work, goes home, and that's just her life. Then she is caught on video fighting with the soccer team's mascot, and instead of being fired because her father actually owns the team, he goes ahead and punishes her by sending her to the middle of nowhere in North Carolina to turn around their local soccer team in a way to prove herself. So when she gets there, this soccer team has pet goats and they wear tutus to practice, and they think that she is just so scary, and they are actually 9-year-old children. So she is determined to do whatever she can to turn this team around, even if she is teaching little children. So the only other upside to this town is that Cameron Caldani is actually in this town and is a mystery to be in this town. So he is a recently retired professional goalkeeper, and she thinks that he is probably the perfect candidate to help her with this team and turn them around so she can get her job back. But he has no interest in it, since they had a super cute interaction where he actually got hit by her car. So he wants her out of this town just as bad as those little 9-year-olds. But she has only one chance to make things right with her dad and get her job back. So she's not going to let a bunch of little kids or Cameron ruin that for her. So she's a very determined lady. I don't know how they're going to get back to where they're like super cute, but they will. They'll make it. I can feel it. But goats and dogs and little kids in tutus, I'm so excited. Our last book on my TBR for this November is The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead. And this one sounds so good too. This is fake dating, and I am all for fake dating. I absolutely love it. So this one is about Alexis, and she is a shy school librarian, and she does not like the spotlight at all. She's just super sweet and cute. And she actually just got dumped for being too meek in bed. So she thinks that she is going to have this newfound adventurous lifestyle. And to do that, she wants a one-night stand to hit it off. So she goes to a hotel bar, meets a man named Logan. And he is just gorgeous. And he is the perfect stranger for this one-night stand. But a lightning storm has other plans and actually catches the hotel on fire. So in this crazy chaotic chase of getting out of this hotel, They are actually photographed together, him carrying her out of this hotel. And this is a huge publicity issue. She finds out that the Logan that she met at this bar is actually Logan Arthur, and he is the hotshot candidate challenging the Texas governor's seat. So the scandal is actually shown to sink his career and jeopardize Alexis's job. So they get a proposal where they are going to fake date until election day in 2 months to save both of their jobs. And that seems like something that's going to be super easy to do for them, is just to pretend to be dating for 2 full months. I just think this is going to be so good, and I cannot get over this cover. Like, that is just so cute. It's like so sweet, and I think I'm really, really going to enjoy this one. I'm pretty positive. I mean, I am a rom-com girl, so this is definitely going to be a good one for me to get going with. Other than that, that is all the books I have to show you for November. I'm so excited for them. I think it'll give me a nice little break before jumping back into holiday books. And I just can't wait to get some of these off of my TBR. Other than that, I hope you guys share all of your November hopefuls, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know down in the comments if you made it this far or if you've read any of these and are absolutely in love. And just have a wonderful rest of your October and your Halloween, and let's just get into November, guys. Bye.